Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be discussing about Global Report on the Food Crisis 2023, GRFC 2023. So let us first look at the timeline. First we'll be looking at the news, then about what is food security, what are the key findings of the report, key drivers of food insecurity, what are the factors which are driving the food insecurity scenario, what are the prescribed solutions, in the end a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is issues related to hunger. Very important topic from mains perspective, and this can also help you in your essay regarding the key findings of the report, key drivers for food insecurity, and most importantly what are the probable solutions. So it has been taken from the Hindu and explained, and it says what has to be done to get to zero hunger. So what are the steps that can be taken, or what are the measures that can be taken to reach to the stage of zero hunger? And zero hunger is also a sustainable development goal. Which one? Which sustainable development goal? It is SDG 2. SDG 2 talks about hunger, zero hunger. So about the report that is going on in present scenario. So recently released Global Report on Food Crisis 2023. It has been published, and it has been published by Food Security Information Network in support with the Global Network Against Food Crisis. So these are the two entities which has published this report, and it also involves 16 partners to achieve a joint consensus based assessment of acute food insecurity in countries. It has talked about the situation of acute food insecurity and what has happened, or what is the scenario and what is the difference in scenario before COVID and after COVID pandemic. Between 691 million and 783 million people in the world suffered from hunger in the year 2022. So in the year 2022, that is the year which just has been passed by, between 691 million and 783 million people have been suffering from hunger. And data for 2022 shows food insecurity levels far higher than pre-pandemic. So this is the most important point, that the report is saying that the food insecurity levels are higher as compared to the pre-COVID time. It means before 2019 or till 2019, the situation of food insecurity was better. But now after COVID, that is the time period of 2022 and 2023, the situation of food security has gone down. This is what it's saying. 2022 shows food insecurity levels far higher than the pre-pandemic 2019. It means after the pandemic, the food insecurity has increased. Now about what is food security. What do you mean by food security? So according to the World Food Summit of 1996, food security is when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food. At all time, at all people, physical, economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. This is what is the definition of food security according to the World Food Summit of 1996. All people, all time, physical and economic access has to satisfy the dietary needs and food preferences of an active and healthy life. This is what do you mean by food security? And the prevalence of moderate to severe food insecurity in the population is based on the food insecurity experience scale. So the scale on which the moderate or severe food insecurity, so the level of food insecurity, whether it is moderate or severe or low, this level or the severity of food insecurity is measured on a scale, and that scale is food insecurity experience scale. Food insecurity experience scale is the basis. Now let's talk about what are the key findings of the report. That is, hunger is no longer an alarming path upward at the global level. So it is not that hunger is one of the most important issues, and in today's time the situation is coming or is trying to come to back to normal, and the countries, or at the global stage the countries are making efforts to get back to the situation of food security far above pre-COVID pandemic levels, and off track in achieving SDG 2, that is zero hunger. So first of all, it is that hunger is not that a big issue now, but it is not that it is not at all a issue. In present scenario, if we will see that if the global scenario will keep on moving in the same direction, then we are not on the right path to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 2, that is of zero hunger. We are off track in achieving the SDG 2. And in the year 2022, an estimated 2.4 billion people did not have access to adequate food. This is the facts of the year 2022, that around 2.4 billion people did not have adequate food to eat, and 391 million more people than in the year 2019. It was less, while in the year 2022 319 million people have added in the scenario of not having adequate food. And if we talk about the aspect of undernourishment means the food supplies, or the people are not getting enough nourished food. Nourished food, when we talk about, it means it should have a proper diet and all the aspects of vitamins, iron, starch. This should be fulfilled in a person. They should have wheat, pulses, green vegetables, milk. So that when the person does not have a proper nourishment, then they are called undernourished. So when we talk about the topic of undernourishment, which is affecting around 9.2% of the world population in 2022 as compared to 7.9% in the year 2019. So that has also increased. In 2019 it was 7.9%, while in the year 2022 it was 9.2%. It means the undernourishment aspect, or the undernourishment factor, has also increased as compared to the COVID times. So the most important finding is this only, that the food insecurity aspect as compared to the pre-COVID time has increased in the year or post-COVID times. Then if we talk about child stunting and child wasting, these are two aspects of undernourishment. Stunting means too short for one's age. It means that whatever the person has age, the person is, as compared to that age, is very short. Then children under 5 years of age has declined from 204.2 million in 2000 to 148.1 million in 2022. So child stunting is a positive aspect, that from the year 2000 it was 204.2 million, but now in the year 2022 it is 148.1 million. So the children under 5 years of age, the numbers in child stunting have decreased. So this is a positive aspect. And if we talk about child wasting, then what is the meaning of the term wasting? It means weight for height is less. It means whatever height the child has, as compared to the height, the weight is very less. So that is, weight for height is less. So the child wasting aspect, or the children in the child wasting criteria, has also declined from 54.1 million in the year 2000 to 45 million in the year 2022. So this is also a positive aspect overall, because the numbers have declined. So child stunting and child wasting overall is a positive aspect. And if we talk about overweight or obese, that means according to the age or the height, a person has much more weight that the person should be having. So that is overweight or obese. It is increasing. It has increased from 5.3% in 2000 to 5.6% in 2022. And overweight or obese is also one of the problems in today's time, that the people, their weight is increasing. So this is a negative aspect, because the people of the criteria of overweight, they have increased. And 3.2 billion people worldwide could not afford a healthy diet in 2020. So healthy diet also comprises of every single aspects of having vitamins, pulses, wheat, rice, starch, iron, green vegetables, etc. Then people could not have healthy diet, and around 3.2 billion people worldwide did not have healthy diet. And cost of a healthy diet increased globally by 6.7% between 2019 to 2021. And this is also what is a problem, because if from the year 2019, that is pre-COVID, and the year 2021, that is you can say COVID year or post-COVID, you can actually approximately you can think of post-COVID, then the cost of healthy diet has increased, and the increase has been huge because this is more than 6% increase. Now let's talk about what are the key drivers of food insecurity. What are the factors which is driving food insecurity in today's time? First of all, slowing down after the COVID pandemic, and during the time of COVID also we saw that the economy globally was slowing down and lockdowns happened, and because of which the physical activity actually shut down and there was no activity which was going on, because of which the economic downturn also come in an economy, and people were losing their jobs, and the incomes of the houses were also getting reduced because of the lockdown. There was no physical activity, so the unorganized sector was completely shut down, and majority of the people are employed in the unorganized sector, and they earn their daily wage earners also. So many people, the income got reduced, they lost jobs, and because of which they did not had a proper living, and which also meant that the demand in the economy was less. Then now the Russia-Ukraine war, the more than 500 days it has been going on, and this has also created a problem, the infrastructure problem and also the supply chain problem. Increasing urbanization that drives changes through the agri-food system. So increasing urbanization is causing a problem for the forest, because the forest is getting cleared, and this is also creating a problem, and a new dynamic has to be thought to bring the agri-food system or the agri-food scenario into perspective. And that is why in today's time in the metropolitan cities, the Miyawaki technique of urban forestation is also getting a lot of applauses. So the agri-food system needs to be focused on that, how the agricultural aspect can get better. Then what can be the probable solutions? Then first and foremost, we need to talk about the sound nutrition, how the sound nutrition can be provided to people. And whenever the government is forming any kind of policy, the policy formation should include the topic of sound nutrition, because it is not about having food, it is about having good nutritious food. Then support by civil society and the private sector, because the private sector and the civil society holds and has become a majority of the people are included in this, and they are also very powerful because they have a certain kind of group whose voices can be raised, and they have the capacity to raise the voice of the vulnerable and the marginalized sector. So these are the people, or these are the sector that also needs to be included in the process of becoming food secured. Healthier food outlets, because in nowadays the junk food is also becoming a problem, because healthier food outlets means at present times the fruits which are available in the market, people consider it to be extremely expensive, and inflation is also going on. So as compared to having healthier food outlets, people opt for junk food because of many factors like cost. So we need to focus on providing healthy food outlets at an affordable price, where people can go and have healthy and nutritious food. Building rural infrastructure, including quality rural and feeder roads to connect remote farms to main road networks. Road network has to be good, because this infrastructure problem, because of the infrastructure problem, many a times we have seen that the small farmers cannot get in contact with the large farmers or cannot get in contact with the mandis. So these this problem of rural infrastructure should not restrict people from connecting to each other. Then warehousing, cold storage, dependable electrification, access to digital tools and water supply. Cold storage and warehouses are very important so that we can store and keep food safe for a long period of time, and in the time of need we can actually get food from there. For example, during the COVID period, we stored a lot of food, and these warehouses and cold storages are actually helped us in feeding our population. Then dependable electrification and water supply, because that is where majority of the people or farmers lack when they do not receive proper water supply and electricity. And then digital tools nowadays can actually help farmers in increasing their general knowledge and awareness about their own crops, and digitally they can also connect with other farmers and also take help from the government or other farmers to increase their productivity. Now in the end, the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. Question is, zero hunger is mentioned in Sustainable Development Goal 1, Goal 2, Goal 3 or Goal 4. This is an easy one. You should be able to answer this one. So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.